up, everybody? Welcome to week 46 here on the 52 Horrific Weeks 1988. I am your host, Mood616, and thank you once again for dropping in, guys. Alrighty, yeah, week 46. Remaining little bits of films. Went into that randomizer, hit that random button, and we've got the Blob remake, of course, from 1988. Oh, I was super stoked when this came up. I actually didn't think it was going to come up because I have obviously more films than 52, and for a second there I didn't think it was actually going to make the randomizer, but it did. Yeah, directed by Chuck Russell, of course. Chuck Russell doesn't have a very big filmography, but oddly enough, he's directed two films that are in my top 30 favorite horror films of all time, and actually it's the only two horror films that he ever directed, which is this one and, of course, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Dream Warriors. But yeah, the Blob remake. Getting into the plot of this one. It's basically about kind of like an alien goo form that kind of comes crashing down into this small town. At first it's thought to be like, kind of like just basically like a meteorite. But of course it really isn't. It's like this alien life form. But basically what this big alien life form is doing, it starts like feeding on humans and stuff, and every time it can consume something, it kind of grows in stature and stuff. So basically it's up to these two characters played by Shawnee Smith and Kevin Dillon to kind of stop this force that's invading this small town and taking over. Basically the idea is that this thing is growing so fast that essentially, like, within days it should be able to take over like the entire United States because it's growing so fast and stuff. But of course, along the lines, they find out certain things about this alien life form and whatnot. So it's not only a battle between them and the Blob; it's them and like the military and stuff like that also. But yeah, so that's the essential plot synopsis of the film. Now my thoughts on this one. Like I said, this movie is in my top 30 favorites of all time. I absolutely love everything about this film. I love the characters. I love Kevin Dillon. He's fantastic in this film. Shawnee Smith is great. It's got a really interesting structure to the film because, in the original Blob, I think, Steve McQueen was like the lone hero in that film type deal. In this one, you got, multiple characters. You got Kevin Dillon and you got Shawnee Smith, which is very cool. And they're unlikely heroes too, because Kevin Dillon is kind of like the town fuck up, basically. He's considered to be like a criminal, just a bastard, outcast type kid. And Shawnee Smith is basically the all-American girl. She's the prom queen, type. But they are kind of forced to work together after Shawnee Smith's boyfriend is actually killed in the hospital, which is this famous scene right here, which is way better cover art than this Twilight Time Blu-ray, but that famous scene right there, love that cover art. But yeah, her boyfriend gets, fucked up in the hospital and whatnot, so they're forced to work together and whatnot. But the structure of this film is just fantastic. It gets right into it right away with the Blob. The Blob looks fantastic. The kills are great. It's terrifying too. Like, some of the scenes, man, like, I'm not going to go through all the scenes. I don't want to ruin anything for anybody out there that's never seen this film, but some of the kills in this film are fucking terrifying. They're just brutal too. Like the Saint kill, I love that one. The boyfriend in the hospital, that's another really great one. But pretty much every kill in this film is just fantastic. Yeah, it's just filled with just goodness, really gory stuff. Like I said, it's basically kind of like a throwback to, the 50s B movies and stuff, and it kind of plays out like that one too. It's got this fantastic scene in the theater too where actually Shawnee Smith's younger brother and her friend are watching this slasher film called Garden Tool Massacre in the film, which I fucking love the title of that. And of course, the Blob kind of invades the theater and everyone's running out and stuff. She's got that total old school throwback B film feel to it and stuff. Yeah, besides the kills in this one, which are basically kind of the highlight of the film, the structure's fantastic, the score is amazing in this film, the atmosphere is absolutely ridiculously awesome in this. All the scenes in the woods with the military and stuff, just perfect setting, great, atmosphere. It's just so thick you can cut it with a knife. It's just fantastic. I don't really know what else to say about this because I don't want to give any scenes away about the film, but it's just overall a fantastically paced film too, which is awesome. There's really no downtime in it. The Blob is just terrorizing this small ass town. And that's another thing I really like about this film is that, it takes place in a small town. It's not terrorizing like a huge city and stuff. So, and they captured the small town feel really well. With scenes where there's a scene where Kevin Dillon, after he gets out of jail in this one scene, he goes to this small little kind of cafe type deal. And, it just has that perfect feel. She gives him a sandwich and whatnot. Everything about this, I think this movie's executed absolutely flawlessly. But yeah, Kevin Dillon, just fantastic in the film. He's got the greatest hair ever. The greatest mullet. The plumage in that mullet is just so fantastic. You cannot beat that. But yeah, I don't know, man. If this is a film that you've never seen before, you need to go out and find this and definitely see this. It's just an overall fantastic, fun film. Every time I watch it, it never ceases to amaze me that how good the Blob really does look in this. They did such a fantastic job with the effects. It's just, like award-winning effects and stuff. If I had to rate this one, I'm going to give this one a 9.5 out of 10. I don't know why it's not a perfect 10 for me because I absolutely love everything about this movie. But I have to say, man, I'm not a big fan of Twilight Time at all. I've stressed that in the past, but this Blu-ray does look really good. The transfer is fantastic on it, so if you can get your hands on this, if you want to see a really good copy, but I still really, really wish that they had used this cover art on this because this is just so much better. It's terrifying. Yeah, I mean, you can't beat that right there. It's just so damn good. But yeah, The Blob. It's just an amazing, amazing film. I give it my highest recommendation, really. Everything about this movie is just fantastic. So yeah, that's going to do it for week 46. Like I said, I don't want to spoil anything, man. You want to go into this one just fresh, not knowing anything about the kills and stuff. I didn't actually mention there's one part in this film that always captivated me. It's the scene where the dirtbag football player is getting his girlfriend drunk at Lover's Lane and whatnot, and he keeps feeding her drinks, and he goes around to the back of the car and opens up the trunk, and he's got this whole bar inside this trunk, and I always thought that was one of the coolest scenes, and then what happens right after is just fucking fantastic too. But I just always love that he's got ice buck, he's actually got ice in there, and he's got vodka and Hawaiian punch and shit. It's fucking fantastic, man. Like I said, every scene in this movie is executed perfectly. It's almost a perfect film. But yeah, The Blob from 1988, highest recommendation. Check it out if you've never seen it before. And that is going to do it for week 46. I will be back next week with week, obviously, 47 and another film. So, hope to see you guys then. Peace out, homies.